Welcome to another legendary tabletop live stream today. I'm hype. Today we're going to be streaming Wingspan with all the expansions. We're going to be using Nectar. We're going to be playing solo, of course, against the Automa. Probably on the hardest difficulty. That's normally how we play. Get it going. Once in a while, you gotta get back to the Wingspan, man. It's just a simple, fun, easy, cozy game, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, we got these mixed up. So round 1, goal, brown powers. Round 2, let's pull another one randomly. I'm not looking. Cubes on play a bird is interesting. Round 3, beak pointing right is also interesting. Birds in the wetlands. Round 4, round 1 goal, brown powers. Round 2 goal, cubes on play a bird. Round 3 goal, beak pointing right. Round 4, birds in the wetlands. So the wetlands is down here. First bird in the tray, American crow. Decent bird, omnivore, goes in all three habitats. It's like a mini raven. You can discard an egg to get a food from the supply. Eurasian tree sparrow, red-winged parrot. We got the Wingspan sweatshirt on. I mean, I'm set. Like, we're ready to go. We're gonna draw an opening hand of 5 cards, okay? Oh, we do start with a nectar though. We also need to give the Automa starting nectar based on our difficulty. So let's kind of look at the Automa here real quick. This is the zone for the Automa, if you will. They're gonna accumulate spent nectar, same as us, but they start with some. 5 for the hardest difficulty is what we start on. So 5 spent nectar. So we get 5 from the top of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bird cards. Let's see what we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our starting 5 birds or our opening hand is Greater Adjutant, Indian Peafowl, Dark-Eyed Junco, Common Kingfisher, and Red-Winged Blackbird. Before we make any decisions, we need to draw 2 bonus cards as well. Let's get those bonus cards going. We're gonna give one bonus card first to the Automa. I always forget this for some reason. Bird Bander. Birds that can live in multiple habitats. That's 31% of cards, probably 35 with Asia. So it's just, the Automa is gonna be taking birds from the tray that can live in multiple habitats. And it doesn't have to be all 3, it can just be 1 or 2. All right, so now that we've given the Automa a bonus card, we can draw 2 for ourselves. So we're gonna get Photographer from the base game. Here's the replaced Anatomist card. So here's our options for the opening hand. We have Greater Adjutant, Indian Peafowl, Dark-Eyed Junco, Common Kingfisher, and Red-Winged Blackbird. What are we thinking here? I like Red-Winged Blackbird. We tuck, we lay an egg in the wetlands. I also like Junco. We tuck a card, we get a wheat. We need to be able to feed the Junco though. So we would need a solid wetlands, right? Indian Peafowl's big. It's interesting, right? 7 points. Costs 3 food, goes in all 3 habitats. All players draw 2 cards from the deck. You draw an additional card. And that brings up another point that I want to talk about is we are playing with the Automa's Horde. So I'm going to pull this card in real quick so everyone can see. When you play with the Automa's Horde, from your brown and white powers only, the Automa will gain something. Okay, so it simulates another player getting something from you. Each card is going to give them 2 cash tokens, and every 3 cash tokens will convert to 1 point. It all depends on the difficulty you're playing on. If you're playing on easy, every 5 tokens converts to a point. Normal, every 4 tokens converts to a point. And on hard difficulty, every 3 cash tokens will convert to 1 point. Anatomist is easier to hit. 2 to 3 birds get you 3 points. Photographer, 4 to 5 birds get you 3 points. So I think it's an easy, simple choice. We stick with Anatomist. We discard Photographer right off the bat. We're going to want to keep birds with body parts in their name. So body parts, we have eyed Junco, we have winged blackbird, right? So that looks like a good start. Now the next thing we want to think about is getting our wetlands, our grasslands, and our forest habitats started off with at least 1 bird because it really bumps up that engine. Yeah, I think we keep peafowl here. I think I just answered my own question. We're talking Wingspan strategy here, dude. I think we stick with that. In that case, if we're keeping these 3 birds, we only get 2 food because we're discarding 2 birds. So we have Anatomist as our bonus card. We have Indian Peafowl, Dark-Eyed Junco, and Red-Winged Blackbird in the hand. It's looking good. What 2 food do we want to have, right? So we have a nectar. It's obviously going to be worm wheat, isn't it? I think we take worm wheat. This is the state of the bird feeder at the start of the game. So we have 3 nectar, 2 wheat, a cherry, and 2 fish. So yeah, our starting food's definitely going to be worm wheat. So then we start out with a worm wheat and a nectar. Turn 1. We always go first against the Automa. Let's do this. We'll play it safe because there is the chance that the Automa will discard all 3 cards from the deck right off the bat. Turn 1, we take our cube. We draw 1 card. All right, we're going to take it from the tray. So we take the American crow. Now that's our full turn. We took one card. Put our cube there to show that we've drawn some bird cards. We're going to refill the tray now. Clark's Nutcracker comes out. So when activated, gain a wheat from the bird feeder if available. You may cash it on this bird. Now we're going to take the Automa, the first turn for the Automa. The way this works, if you've never played solo against the Automa, so we're going to flip their card. We're going to line it up with the current round, which is round 1. They're going to be taking food from the bird feeder. Now, they don't actually gain resources or anything. It just takes it away from us. We find that first food that's in the bird feeder, and the Automa will take all of that food. So there are no rats in the bird feeder, but there are 2 fish. So we have 2 fish in the bird feeder. They come out. And then the last thing on the Automa card is activate all pink powers, but we don't have any pink powers. We haven't even played a bird yet. That's the end of the Automa's first turn. Turn 2. So let's play a bird. So to play a bird, there's technically 4 actions on the board here that you can do. You can do gain food, lay eggs, draw bird cards, but you can also play a bird. So you put your cube up here in the column that you're playing the bird in. We're going to play the red-winged blackbird into the wetlands. Now, we have the food cost that we have to pay is going to be 1 wheat. So we do have a wheat here, so we'll pay the wheat. And then in this first column, it doesn't cost any eggs to play bird. That was our second turn. We played a bird. We paid the wheat. We move this over. We flip another Automa card. Okay, Automa turn 2. Nice and easy. They're just going to lay 1 egg. So we'll give them a little egg supply over here. So we play another bird. We're playing the American crow into the grasslands. Now, again, in this first column, it doesn't cost any eggs. You can also pay with any food because the American crow is an omnivore. So the 2 food we have are a nectar and a worm. I think I'm going to save my nectar and pay with a worm. Automa turn 3. Playing birds. All right, this is where the bonus card is going to come into play. So we have the picture of playing a birds, right? So then we'll take any and all birds from the tray that can live in multiple habitats. They're gonna take both of these out. Now they only keep 1, right? They keep the highest point value face up, and this one gets discarded. So we have 2 new birds coming out in the tray. Automa just got 6 points. It's kind of fucked. We have Willy Wagtail. That's actually a good bird. It can go in the forest and draw you more cards, which is, I think that's why it's good. But we'll see. It says draw 1 face-up card from the tray with a bowl or a wild nest. You may reset or refill the tray before doing so. Oh, and then we have California quail. In combination, these 2 birds would be wild, right? In the forest. I mean, you're laying eggs, you're drawing cards, and you're getting food. Like, what's happening there? I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, let's do it. Let's try it, right? The question is, do we want to tuck dark-eyed Junco? I think the quail's too good, right? Maybe we leave Willy Wagtail. It'll get picked up from Bird Bander, right? It's better than the 5 that they get for a face down, right? We've already decided we're drawing bird cards. So what 2 bird cards do we want? Let's take the quail. We get 1 more. I say we take from the top of the deck. So if we don't like the bird, we can tuck it. If we do like the bird, we tuck peafowl or Junco. Another decision to be made. Let's take from the top of the deck. We get Australian shoveler. Okay, I think that answers our question. We tuck our shoveler and we lay an egg on blackbird. All right, we've drawn bird cards twice. We've played 2 birds. Let's flip for the Automa next. All right, they're going to play another bird, but they're going to be taking any and all birds that can live in multiple habitats. So they are going to get that Willy Wagtail, unfortunately. I'm still happy we got the quail. They get that face up for 2 points. So they've got 8 points in face up bird cards already. Let's refill the tray. That's the end of the Automa's turn. We have the Royal Spoonbill coming out. Royal Spoonbill is when activated, draw 1 face up card with a platform or wild nest. You may reset or refill the tray before doing so. I mean, if we lay eggs here twice and get nectar, we can play our California quail, which will give us a 3rd brown power, and we'll have a bird in each habitat by the end of the round. I'm happy with that. So let's lay 2 eggs. Lay eggs, you just take eggs from the supply, you lay them on birds. So we go 1. Let's put 1 on the blackbird, and then we activate our American crow, and we discard an egg from any of our other birds. So it can't be from the crow. So we discard from the blackbird, and we get any food from the supply. So we take a nectar. For the Automa, we flip a card. This symbol, this is the first time this symbol has come up along with the cube. So they're going to gain a cube towards the end of round goal. First and foremost, however many brown powers they start with, they just added 1. So if they start with 1 brown power, they now have 2. Back to the Automa. This symbol, which means discard all 3 birds from the tray. So these 3 birds are gone. They get a face down card for 5 points, and we refill the tray. Common chiffchaff is big. We all know about the chiffchaff, right? We have the snowy egret. Snowy egret's good. 4 points for 1 food. Predator bird goes in the wetlands. So we're going to take our 6th action here. I think we've already decided what we're doing for the rest of the round. So we're going to lay 2 eggs. Again, we'll put 1 on the blackbird, 1 on the crow. We'll activate the crow. We discard an egg from any of our other birds. Get our 3rd nectar. And then with 2 turns remaining, we got to decide what to do with our last turn, right? What's the Automa doing? Let's see. All right, they're taking food again. If you can see, this has a cube on it as well. So they're going to get another brown power. So they're now up to possibly 3. We don't know what they start with. We haven't checked. So we're going to look at the feeder. So it's rat first, then fish, then cherry. So there is 1 cherry nectar. So if we look at the feeder, this is the first cherry. So they take that cherry nectar. They've gained their action cube. End of their turn. So we're taking our 7th turn now. We're playing the quail. So we play another bird. This one goes in the forest. It costs a worm and 2 wheat. So we have 3 wild food here. So the nectar, all spent nectar goes in your spent nectar wherever you spent it. We spent 3 nectar there. Costs no eggs. Nice and easy. Moving on to the Automa's 7th turn. Let's see what they're doing. Laying an egg and getting another action cube. That's kind of bullshit. So now they have 3 cubes stacked on that end of round goal. We might be in trouble here. So they gain an action cube towards the end of round goal. They have 3 now, which is kind of crazy. Whew. And they also lay an egg. Give them an egg. We're gonna keep the pile of eggs over here. We have 1 action remaining in round 1. If we take food and we take those 2 nectar that are remaining, we have to discard them at the end of the round. We could take 2 wheat. We could draw cards. We are gonna draw cards though on our last turn, I think. So we still have space on our blackbird. We draw 2 bird cards, right? What do we think about that Chiff Chaff, man? We take Chiff Chaff. Let's take 1 from the deck. Card we get from the deck is the Karuru, if I'm saying it properly. When activated, if the player to your left has a nectar in their personal supply, gain a nectar from the general supply. So for us, the way that would work against the Automa, if they have a cube on the end of round goal. I think we're gonna tuck that bird though. So we've picked up both Chiff Chaff and Karuru. We're gonna activate our red-winged blackbird where we tuck a card from our hand and then we lay an egg. And that's our last turn. It's our last turn for round 1. So we're gonna flip for Automa here. This is their final turn. Then we do 2 flips to adjust the spent nectar. So again, they're playing birds. Best part about this is that they're losing an action cube toward the end of round goal. So that puts us in the running. They're gonna play a bird. They want birds that can live in multiple habitats. So if we look at the tray, we have no birds that can live in multiple habitats. In that situation, they take a face down card for 5 points. Tray remains the same. Best part about this is that they're removing an action cube from the end of round goal here. So we love that. So we'll get the European end of round goals. We're gonna look for the card that says round 1. Round 1 is here. Brown powers is here. They start with no brown power birds. Last thing we're gonna do for Automa, we're gonna flip 2 spent nectar cards to adjust their spent nectar. So we flip 1, we flip 2, and we actually lay these sideways like this. And then each X cube is gonna remove a nectar, and then each regular cube is gonna gain a nectar. So they lose a nectar in the forest, and they gain 1 in the grasslands. So that's how we adjust the spent nectar for the Automa. Okay, now we can take the Automa's deck. They have a card in here that says remove after round 1. We take that out. We flip the round tracker over to round 2. We shuffle the Automa deck. We won the end of round goal, so they did qualify, so they're gonna get 2nd place. They get 1 point. We take 1 of our action cubes. We go in 1st place. We return the action cubes. Reset the tray. 3 new birds coming out. We have Rock Pigeon. We don't care about Rock Pigeon. We have Brogla. Don't think we care about that. And then we have Rosie Starling. Rosie Starling is a very interesting bird. When activated, tuck up to 3 cards from your hand behind this bird. If you tuck at least 1, you gain a worm from the supplies. Okay, we're moving on to round 2. This is action 1, round 2. So we have 7 turns this round. I think we should take food while we can, right? So let's take 2 food from the bird feeder. So we're gonna do a gain food action up here. We get 2 food from the bird feeder. There's 2 nectar left. So we take the 2 nectar, reset the feeder. Move on to the quail. We lay an egg on this bird. Automa takes their first turn, round 2. They're playing birds, so they are going to get that Rosie Starling face up for 4 points. So we take that out of the tray. Again, birds that can live in multiple habitats, they take that face up. Then we reset the tray. Blue grosbeak comes up. That's a migratory bird. The round 2 goal is going to be cubes on play a bird. Let's do this. Play Junko turn 1. We play it in our grasslands. Now, this is the first time it's going to cost us an egg to play a bird, so we'll take it from the blackbird. Okay, so we paid our egg. Now we have to pay the 2 food costs. So we pay 2 nectar. The spent nectar goes in the spent nectar in the grasslands where you played the bird. Okay, we take a turn for the Automa. All right, they're taking food from the bird feeder again. So, and the worst thing on here is that they're gaining an action cube towards the end of the round goal. So first, we'll give them an action cube towards the end of round goal. So let's see what they start with for round 2. We'll take this round 2 card here. If we look at cubes on play a bird, they start with 1, and each cube will be +1. So they have 2 cubes on play a bird already. Seems kind of hard to do with when they've only taken 1 action, but but it is what it is. Okay, back to the Automa's turn. They're just removing food from the bird feeder, so we go to the bird feeder. So cherry was the first thing on the list, so the cherry nectar actually comes out. So we don't care about anything in the tray right now, so instead of laying eggs, we draw 2 cards from the deck. So we pull red-shouldered hawk. Shouldered's big. Painted bunting is also big. This is going to give us 2 bonus cards, and we keep 1. And then red-shouldered hawk goes with our bonus card, which is anatomist, and it's a predator. 3 points for a single food. We like that, so we're going to go ahead and activate our blackbird. We tuck common chiff-chaff. Bunch of full tuck people crying in the chat right now. And then we lay an egg on the blackbird. So we've taken 3 turns. Let's take a third action for the Automa. Okay, again, they're going to remove food from the bird feeder in that order. So starting with a cherry and then rat. So there is a rat. They take this rat, and then the next thing on their card says activate all pink powers. We don't have any pink powers on our board at the moment. That does absolutely nothing, and then it's back to our turn. Yeah, instead of laying eggs, I think we take food, right? That would make more sense, because then we don't have to tuck a bird. Yeah, gain 2 food. We take a wheat and a nectar, so we could play peafowl, right? We activate our quail. We lay an egg on this bird. All right, that was our 4th action. We go to the Automa. They're going to take another action. We flip a card for them. They're going to lay 2 eggs and gain a cube towards the end of round goal. So I don't think we have a shot at winning this end of round goal at this point. 3 cubes on play a bird. So, and they also lay 2 eggs. We're going to draw cards again. We take them from the top of the deck. We end up getting olive-backed sunbird, which is important. The backed goes with anatomist. Oh, and the galah. The galah is huge. What do you guys know about the galah? Crazy when activated ability. Choose one other player. They reset the bird feeder and gain a wheat if there is one. You tuck 2 cards from the deck behind this bird. Bam! Galah's huge. We tuck olive-backed sunbird. This could be a mistake. We may not find another anatomist bird. We're taking the chance. We fill our red-winged blackbird. We take another turn for the Automa here. Okay, they're going to discard cards from the tray and gain a cube towards the end of round goal. Like I said, it's not completable when they've played this many birds. So we give them the cube towards the end of round goal. The end of round goals look like this. So they have 4 cubes on play a bird, which is absolutely insane if you ask me. They're going to discard all 3 cards from the tray, gain it. So we give them a face down for 5. We reset the tray. In the tray, we have Inca Dove, Sprague's Pipit, other bonus card bird, common yellow throat. Does go with anatomist, that common yellow throat, but it's only a 1-point bird. No, let's gain food, then play a bird on our last turn. We're going to gain 2 food from the bird feeder at this point. Since there's 1 food left, it's re-rollable. So we re-roll first, try to get some nectar. Okay, 1 nectar comes out. Nectar wheat, I think. We take nectar wheat. We activate this California quail. We lay an egg on this bird. We take another turn for the Automa. Again, they're discarding cards from the tray. So those 3 are gone. They get a face down for 5. We reset the tray. We have Mandarin duck, an Asia bird. That is one of the coolest looking birds I've ever seen. If I saw that in the wild, I would think it was painted like a lawn ornament. A round-end ability to draw 5 cards from the deck and add 1 to your hand. Tuck 1 behind this bird, give 1 to another player, and discard the rest. California quail is a bonus card bird, costs no food. Holds 1 egg, and then we have a chimney swift, another migratory bird. Wild nest, 3 points, 2 food. So it's our final turn. We've got to use our nectar as well. So we're gonna play a bird. We play the peafowl. Peafowl goes in the wetlands. It costs 1 egg. We take an egg from the blackbird. We pay a worm, a wheat, and any food. So we're gonna use nectar, wheat. That gives us 2 spent nectar in the wetlands. This has all players draw 2 cards from the deck. You draw an additional card. At any rate, the Automa is going to get 4 cash tokens for those 2 cards we gave them. So it's a 2... I can't even talk. But we get to draw 3 cards. Let's just take 3 from the deck. Let's see what we get, right? So we draw 3 from the deck for the Indian peafowl. We have red ruby-crowned kinglet. We have yellow hammer, which is very interesting. We have magpie lark. So 3 different abilities here. We have a yellow, teal, and a white. That's our last turn for round 2. Automa, they're going to lay 2 eggs, and they're actually going to lose a cube towards the end of round goal. They lose an action cube towards the end of round goal. Is we flip 2 cards for Automa here. So, oh, I didn't think I put Automa Society card in there. That kind of sucks. They're going to gain 2 in the forest, 1 in the grasslands, and 2 in the wetlands. So we add 2 in the forest, 2 in the wetlands, and 1 in the grasslands. And then we can remove our round 2 card from the deck, shuffle the Automa deck, and flip the round tracker over to round 3. Okay, we're going to look at the end of round goals next. Cubes on play a bird is actually an Oceania end of round goal, so we take that card for round 2. Cubes on play a bird. They start with 1, 2, 3 cubes on play a bird. We only have 2 cubes on play a bird. I know you can't see it, but that's fine. So we lose that end of round goal. So Automa gets the 5 points for that, and we get 2. Kind of rough. We're moving on to round 3. So round 3 is going to be birds with beaks pointing right. We need to reset the tray and gain our cubes back. Red-backed shrike goes with our bonus card. Black tern. That does not. Abbott's booby. Booby should be an anatomist. It should definitely be a body part. Take our cubes back. We always go first against the Automa. Okay, so we have some options down here. Let's take a look at our hand. Right now in the hand, we have red-shouldered hawk, galah, ruby-crowned kinglet, yellowhammer, magpie lark, and painted bunt. Thoughts on that? We have no food. We have 1 wheat right now. Okay, let's do this. Let's lay 2 eggs. Put one on the peafowl. Peafowl looks wild, right? Tuck one under the junco. The one we're going to tuck is going to be magpie lark first. If we do tuck a card from our hand, we gain a wheat from that junco. So we get a wheat. We discard an egg from the blackbird, and we get a nectar. Okay, that's turn 1, round 3. Let's flip for Automa. They're going to take food, starting with cherries and then fish. So there is 1 fish. So they remove this fish, and then it's activate all pink powers. Again, we have no pink powers. Man, do I want to drop that yellow hammer. Let's just try it. It's always fun, right? Ruby crowned kinglet goes with our bonus card. It's an anonymous bird. So what we're going to do, this is a big turn here. Let's play a bird. So we're playing a bird in the forest. So it costs 1 egg and 1 food. We spend a nectar. We play ruby crowned kinglet. Costs 1 of any of those foods, so we spend 1 nectar. Costs 1 egg. Let's take an egg from the quail. When played, play an additional bird in your forest. Pay its normal cost. We play yellow hammer. That goes for another egg. We spend an egg from the blackbird again, and we pay the 2 wheat that we have left. Now we want to make sure we prepare to use that yellow hammer, right? Because it's got a round end ability that says if you used all 4 actions this round, play another bird, pay its normal cost. That's like a free extra turn if you have the food and the birds to play. So far we've laid eggs, we've played a bird. We need to gain food and draw bird cards. That's 2 of our turns, and then we need to be able to get food and play a bird at the end of the round. We don't need an action cube to do it. All right, we take a turn for the Automa. I believe that's it for us. So for round 3, they're gonna discard all 3 cards from the bird tray, gain a face down card for 5, and lose an action cube. They don't have an action cube to lose. That kind of sucks, but they wipe the tray. Face down card for 5, refill the tray. Oh, king rail's huge. Red cockaded woodpecker's also good, and so is the northern goshawk. 3 really good birds in the tray. Goshawk would be like an easy play. You can use cards as food. So I think if we have to draw cards, now's the time, right? And what we'll do is we'll discard an egg to draw a 3rd card. So let's take 1 off the crow. So we can now draw 3 cards. I kind of want to just take those 3. We're doing a big tray scoop right now. We scoop all 3 birds from the tray. So I think we have to tuck red-shouldered hawk right now to lay an egg. Okay, we refill the tray and do Automa's turn. Mute swan comes up. Mute swan's big. Bush tit's huge. Horned lark is ace. All right, we flip a turn for Automa. Round 3. Again, they're wiping the tray. So mute swan, bush tit, and horned lark are all gone immediately. Or they gain a face down card for 5. We reset the tray. Oh, hooded warbler's big for 7. European robin, meh. Common green magpie, a little expensive. We love hooded warbler though. What we need to do is gain food here. Damn, this is crazy. This game is nuts. Let's draw cards. This could be a big mistake. We're gonna discard another egg from blackbird. Now we get 3 cards. Let's take hooded warbler. We gotta stop taking stuff we want to play though. That's kind of nuts. Let's take 2 from the tray. We get brown falcon, which is also good. Saurus crane, 7 points for any 3 food. Tucking fodder, I'm gonna set over here. Those are the birds I'm thinking about tucking. So we've drawn 2, we've spent an egg, we've drawn 3. We gotta tuck 1 now. We tuck Saurus crane. Do we want to do that though? Because then we have nothing to tuck. I mean, we're not gonna be able to get them all, right? There's just no shot. We have to decide what we want to play. It's insane. I feel like the way they made this game, like you want to play all the birds, don't you? We really have to buckle down and think about what we're gonna pick. I mean, hood is not a body part. We have the hooded warbler. Let's tuck Saurus crane. We lay an egg on the red-winged blackbird. Let's reset. Peaceful dove comes out. We flip for Automa's 4th turn. Again, they're wiping the tray. Come on, bro. They get a cube towards the end of round goal, which gives them another beak pointing right. They're discarding the tray, getting a face down card for 5, resetting the tray. Oh my god, spotted owl is good too. Purple martin, it's a bit late for that. Oh, and then they've also gained a cube towards the end of round goal there, so that gives them another beak pointing right. There's 2 turns left. Let's take food. So we're out to here. On this column, you can spend a food to reset the bird feeder if you don't like the food that's in there, but since the bird feeder is as it is with 2 worms, we can already reset it. So we're just gonna re-roll it now. Okay, we get a nectar. Let's take nectar worm for hooded warbler. We've taken our 2 food. We can discard a card for a 3rd food. Do we want to do that? Probably not. So I think we're going to skip that for now. We're not going to discard a card. We jump to our California quail and we lay an egg on this bird. Let's take a turn for the Automa here. So they're going to play a bird. So they're going to be taking all birds that can live in multiple habitats and gaining a cube towards the end of round goal. So they're getting another cube. We're looking at the tray for birds that can live in multiple habitats. They actually gain purple martin face up for 2, which helps us. We refill the tray. Baltimore Oriole comes out, a 9-point forest bird. That's huge. So we play a bird all the way out in this 4th column. The egg cost is now 2. Take an egg from the quail. Let's just take 2 from the quail. We put hooded warbler down. Costs 2 worms. So we pay a nectar. That goes in the spent nectar in the forest. We pay a worm. That was our last action, but we have Yellowhammer. Final turn for the Automa, and then we can use our Yellowhammer ability. So then they're going to play birds. No birds in the tray can live in multiple habitats, so they just get a face down card for 5. It looks like they get another cube towards the end of round goal, which is fucking absurd. So we flip 1, we flip 2. They're going to lose 1 in the wetlands and gain 1 in the forest. That's fine with me. We remove this end of round 3 card. Round tracker to round 4. We shuffle the Automa deck. They have beaks pointing right in round 3. They start with 2, 3, 4, 5 beaks pointing right. They definitely win that end of round goal. So they get the 6 points. We have 1, 2, 3 birds with beaks pointing right, so we get 2 points. Last thing to do is reset the tray. I'm sorry if the scene hopping around is fucking with you guys, but I'm trying to go as fast as possible. Ruby-throated hummingbird. Throated. We still only have 3 birds. Anatomy parts in their name. So greater prairie chicken, another bonus card bird, and then European honey buzzard. Honey buzzard has failed me too many times for me to care about it at this point. Plus, there's no rounds left, right? So let's use Yellowhammer. It's the end of the round, right? Since we have Yellowhammer on our board, we used all 4 actions that turn. I know. Didn't even pick up the cubes yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've used all 4 actions. We get to play another bird. We have no food though, so this is kind of what I was worried about. We have to play northern goshawk in the forest. So we're gonna tuck our brown falcon and the galah, or maybe red cockaded. Red cockaded gets tucked because we can't play any more birds in the forest. Goshawk goes down. We pay no food. Something special about the goshawk: when played, for each rat in this bird's cost, you may pay with 1 card from your hand instead. If you do, tuck the paid card behind this card. So for each rat, we have a tucked card. Play this in our forest. Pay our 2 eggs. Blackbird, quail. End of round goal 4 is birds in the wetland. Let's try it. Let's take food. We're all the way out here gaining 4 food from the bird feeder. So we take worm fish, and we've only gained 2 of our 4 food, so we get to re-roll this feeder. So for our next 2 food, we obviously take 2 nectar. Going back to our board, lay an egg on the quail, and that's our turn. Automa is going to flip a card for round 4. They're going to play a bird. They lose a cube, but they're going to take that ruby-throated hummingbird from the tray, face up for 4 points. They don't have an action cube to lose, so we refill the tray and take our turn. Red-breasted merganser comes out. We're going to play a bird in the grasslands here, so this costs 1 egg. We play painted bunting with our second turn. So this is going to be a worm and 2 wheat. So we have a worm, 2 nectar. The 2 nectar gets spent in the grassland. We didn't pay the egg, yeah. So we pay an egg from the quail. Painted bunting's ability is when played, draw 2 bonus cards, keep 1. So we take 2 new bonus cards. So we're going to want the one that gives us the most points here. So let's look at ecologist. Birds in your habitat with the fewest birds. It will eventually be 6. Viticulturalist, though, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. We don't have 2 birds with cherries. So we discard viticulturalist. We keep ecologist. That was a solid 6-point pickup there. Okay, that was our second action. We take a turn for the Automa. They're going to gain food from the bird feeder. There is 1 rat, so they'll remove the rat from the feeder. Activate all pink powers. Again, there's no pink powers on our board. Draw cards. That's what I'm talking about, folks. So we do a draw 2 bird cards. Let's take 2 from the top of the deck. We don't care at this point. It's too late in the game. White stork would have been great for 8, and barred owl. Did we end up hitting? Oh my god, if we don't hit anatomist, I'll be so pissed. Oh my god, we're not gonna hit anatomist. Eyed, crowned, winged. Fuck, we did not. We're not gonna hit anatomist. We screwed up. So we draw 2. We tuck red-winged blackbird. We lay an egg on red-winged blackbird. That was our 3rd action. Automa takes their 3rd action. They're going to discard all 3 cards from the tray again. And again, there's no cubes on the end of round goal to lose. So they wipe the tray. Gain a face down for 5. Refill the tray. Eurasian marsh harrier. Ruddy shell duck. Blue-gray gnatcatcher. All right, we've got 2 actions left. We know we have to lay eggs at least 1 time. We lay eggs and take food. So we're going to lay 2 eggs here. And then what we're going to do is we have the option to discard food and cards. Or we don't discard 2. We keep galah, right? We discard fish for the second. That's fine. And then we tuck galah to gain a wheat. I think we skip American crow. I mean, it would give us another nectar. Odds are we're going to get nectar. We get 4 food when we take food, right? We skip crow. All right, we've done all 4 of our actions. We have 1 remaining. Automa takes their turn. They play another bird. They gain a cube towards the end of round goal. In the tray, we have no birds that can live in multiple habitats, so they get a face down for 5. It's a lot of face down 5-point cards, if you ask me. All right, we've got 1 turn left. It has to be take food. We need that food for the king rail, right? That's too much math for me. I'm thinking we just take food here, right? Any extra food will give us a win in case of a tie, right? So we take food. Do we gamble here and try to get for nectar? We pretty much can. Let's take a fish as one of our foods. Let's reroll the feeder. This is a big reroll. If we fucked up here, we can't play our king rail. I think we're good. We take nectar, worm on the board all the way to our California quail. We lay an egg on the quail. That was our last action. That's all we can do this game. Automa needs to take their last action. They lay 3 eggs and get another action cube on the end of round goal, which sucks. Do our king rail or our yellow hammer first. So we used all 4 actions this turn. We can play another bird. I'm gonna play king rail in the wetlands. Costs fish, any food, and worm. So we use fish, worm, nectar. Spent nectar goes there. Costs an egg. We take an egg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That hurts if we get oologist. Take an egg from Blackbird. We draw 2 bonus cards and we get to pick one to keep. 2 bonus cards. This is a big reveal here. What's it gonna be? Fishery manager and behaviorist. What do we have here? Fishery manager doesn't look good. We have 1 bird, so that's out of the picture. Behaviorist. For each column that contains birds with 3 different powers. Brown. Oh no, that's 0. Oh no, we got 0 point for both of these. No. We got 2 shitty bonus cards. Fuck me, right? They're both 0s, so let's take fishery. Oh, you hate to see it. We'll adjust the spent nectar. So for the last time we're adjusting their nectar, they're gonna lose 1 in the forest, gain 1 in the grassland. So as you can see, their nectar really just they just gain it mostly. Let's score the end of round goal. Round 4 was birds in the wetlands. Round 4, birds in the wetlands. They start with 3. That's 4, 5. So they max it out. So they win that end of round goal as well. We might be screwed here. They take the 7 points. We end up getting 4. Damn, that did not go as planned. Now we just have to add it up, right? That's everything. 44 points from birds. And then from our bonus cards, like I said, the max points on anatomist. So we get 3 and 6, which is 9 points for bonus cards. We do the end of round goals, 8 eggs. Food on cards, we have none. Tucked cards, so 11 points in tucked cards. We'll do the wetlands first. So they win that. We get 2. They get 5. And then in the grasslands, I don't even need to count them. I can see that we lost that as well. So we have 2. They have 5. And then in the forest, it is very close, so we'll count those. So they have 6, probably, yep, 5. So we lost that one too. We lost all 3 spent nectars. That's pretty rough. So they get 15 and we get 6 points. The Automa is going to score a little differently than us. 5 points on the hardest difficulty for each face down card. So 45. And then they get points for each face up card. 11, 12, and 6 is 18 points. And then the end of round goals, again, they crushed us on the end of round goals. So they have 19 points from end of round goals. We may have actually lost here. Eggs, they got a pile of 9 eggs over here. So that's everything. So we can add that up and see how we did. So 91, that's pretty low. Yep, 106 to 91. Damn. Hello. Did we lose to the Automa, man? Yo, we're usually whooping.